Hi, Garrison.
Probably inappropriate.
Where are you from?
Hernando, Mississippi.
Okay.
Home of the conquistadors.
That's right. Home of Hernando de Soto, the very first conquistador.
Yeah, first conquistador.
That's right.
That's a whole nother T-shirt in the making.
Yeah, it is. Totally.
So how does that relate to your
Really looking good on camera right now.
Well,
really,
thanks a lot,
really
Jay.
good.
You know, thanks a lot. You just, you know, you kind of look good all the time.
how do you feel about Jay Nash telling you that you look good on camera?
You kind of, like, I'm really turned on by it, to be honest. Very turned on by it. Jay's an attractive man. He's a big man. And I like it.
Need your signature on that too.
I like it a lot.
So how does that relate to where you're from?
It absolutely has no bearing on where I'm from whatsoever. You know, like where I'm from relates to who I am now. I mean, I think there's a certain tension that exists in the South for absolutely, you know, that there's, and I think that's one reason why there have been so many great writers and musicians that have come out of that area, because it's just born of, like, you know, there's a lot of struggle down there, you know, throughout history. There always has been, and there's been a lot of you know, a lot of adversity that people have had to struggle through, and I think that absolutely breeds great artists. You know, it breeds, you know, great thinking, aware, passionate people. And so, you know, I grew up in a really conservative religious home, and I think that definitely kind of took its toll on me and kind of made me, I don't know, some people dive into that, and I kind of rebelled against it. I think not rebelling completely away from God, but rebelling in the sense that I just didn't want to be told who I am and be told what to do and what to believe. And so I actually think that has affected me in a good way, but it's, for me, I'm really hard-headed, and I've kind of always had to go, I've always had to find things out my own way, and kind of had to go the long way around to get back to the original point. That's just kind of the way that I work, and I think a lot of that has to do with the way I was brought up, and always being told, this is this is the rule, this is how it has to be, and me being like, I'm gonna show you how it doesn't have to be that way, but then, you know, you just kind of have to go, you know, a long way around to get back where you started from. But at least when you get back to the place you started, you know, you figured it out for yourself. You know, it's not because you just accepted some bullshit somebody told you.
So you've lost your religion and
found it again.
Is that recent for you?
Well, I mean, I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. I mean, I think that I've, you know, found God again in my own way. I've never rebelled against God. Like, I've never gotten to where, like, there's no God, I fucking hate God. You know, I've never been like that. I've always believed in God, but I've had to find a relationship.
Do you think there's a difference between saying fuck God and there is no God? Or is that all the same?
Yeah, I think that's different. I think it's absolutely different. But I mean,
Would you care to elaborate on that?
Well, I mean, you know, sometimes I get mad at God, and I just am like, this is fucking bullshit. You know, why don't you make things easier for me? But I've never said there is no God, because I don't believe that's true. I believe there is a God.
Have you always believed there's a God?
Yes. I've always believed there's a God. I've just never strayed from that belief. You know, and I mean, it's like my mom, I don't know, it's like my mom and all her friends who talk about their passion for Christ all the time, and it's like, you know, you can't make yourself have passion for Jesus, you know? You can't do that. You can't make yourself, you know, you can't, like, will yourself to have passion to go witness to people about Christ. I mean, you can't invent that. Like, you either have that in you or you don't, you know? And it's like, I think it's the same way with your relationship with God, you know? It's like, you either have it or you don't. I mean, I believe in Jesus, but am I, like, passionate about running around telling people about it? No, I'm not. Not so much.
So does Jesus affect your life?
It's such a, I don't know.
Does Jesus affect your music?
Ooh, I don't know. You know.
Does God affect your music?
Yes.
Care to elaborate?
Well, I mean, I think I did. I think I said that. I mean.
Care to elaborate further?
Sure. I mean, I think that's a good question, actually. I mean, I guess God affects my music in so much as, you know, that whole spirituality is a struggle. You know, faith is a struggle. And it's an ever-changing, you know, ever sort of elaborative concept in itself. It's always changing. It's always spreading and growing, and you're always new questions come up. I think in that way, it's always. Those questions are always affecting my life and my work.
So
if
Garrison,
you can be honest about it. Some people aren't.
No,
but,
it's hard to be honest. Garrison, so when did you start? When did you start playing music?
When I was 13. Well, I started playing guitar when I was 13.
Okay, and what happened then?
I just never stopped. And here I
Just-
am now, a little bit tipsy and trying to answer questions and sound like I know what I'm talking about.
You sound like you know what you're talking about.
Ah, thanks. I'm James Pitcher. All right, I gotta sign this poster, and we